Frazer here, and welcome to day one of our 3-day systems challenge. This is the first time I think anyone in the network marketing space has ever done some sort of challenge around systems. And here's why. And before I kind of go into the whole thing, I want to tell you a little bit about why the systems, and then a little bit about me, and then we're going to go into our first day, which you're going to absolutely love. So why should you use systems? Every big business in the world has systems, and I think the one that most people appreciate or can relate to or understand is the McDonald's system. Now, most people think that McDonald's is one system, like you walk in and it's all systemized. Well, in reality, there's hundreds of different systems. How they wear the uniform, how they wear the badge, how they win Employee of the Month, how they put the pickle or the gherkin on the burger, how they order, how they stack the burger, how they do the fries, how they do the drive-through, how they get promoted. Like, everything is systemized. And they often say that your business will grow to the level of your goals, but it will fall to the level of your systems. And for those of you out there who are understanding the ups and downs of their network marketing business, then you will go up and you will get comfortable, but then the business will dip down. And if you have no systems, there is going to be no bottom. But if you have solid systems in place, there will be a bottom that will be realized because people know what to do. And that's the reality of a system. People need to know exactly what to do. They need to actually want to do it, and they actually need to do it. If it doesn't answer those three questions, then people aren't going to use it. And it's got to be super, 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 super simple as well. All right? So I want you to think about in your business, before we get into this, and whilst I go through my story, just get a piece of paper and just write down real quick, what systems do you have in place right now that you've created? And I'll give you some examples, right? So maybe you have a system for what to do with your time. Maybe you have a system of how to generate leads. Maybe you have a system that's going to take you through like a pipeline, a process. Maybe you have a system to get people onboarded. Maybe you have a system to get people launched. Maybe you have a system of how you say no to people and how you say yes to people. It's a system. Maybe you have a system to what time you go to bed and what time you wake up. Maybe you have a system of going to the gym. Maybe you have a food system. Maybe you have a parenting system. Maybe you have a system with your partner. Maybe you have a date night system. Maybe you have a system to decide what movie to watch next on Netflix. Like, it all systems, like it's a process, it's a system, it's a step-by-step framework that you use. And if any of you guys have ever bought something from IKEA and then you've had the arguments whilst you build the bed together and it's like, oh, this way, some of you guys follow every single step of the system, right? You get, right, okay, I've got the package, I lay it out, I've got the manual, I've got all the bits. Oh no, we're missing one screw. And then if you're like me, it's like, we'll just figure it out and put it all together, right? Like, it's just my personality type. If you and I ever do a flat pack IKEA product together and you're laying it all out, I'm probably already halfway through doing it. Now, I might mess it up, but I'll be proud of my mistakes, especially if I'm open and honest with them. Anyway, so I want you to just write down, how many systems can you think of that you already have in your life? Right? If you're someone who has a place for everything, then you're probably like system mindset. Now, before I go into the story, there are different color personalities, and I'm going to address them really quickly because it's going to relate to the system. You got red, blue, yellow, and green. Now, there's different authors and different people have their own ones. I'm just going to share you the one that I grew up with. Red, ambitious, driven, go. Like, they want to crush it, right? And this is very like not specific. This is not very detailed personality color thing, right? Yellow's a people, community. They want the kumbaya by the fireplace. They want everyone on the team to win. The blues, party, a little bit distracted, want to have a good time, always want to have blue people in the organization. They're fun. And then there's the green, the analytical type, the logical part of their brain, the systemized people. And here's what I want you to know, that if you are green, what we're going to do over the next 3 days, you are going to absolutely love. If you are red, then you're also going to love this because you're going to know how much better your business is going to grow as a result. If you're blue, initially, you're probably going to get some sort of migraine, maybe a nosebleed. You're going to be like, oh, no, that's too much. I just want to have a good time. But building the systems will allow you to have more of a good time. And if you're a yellow, creating this is going to make it much easier, much better for your team. Okay? So let's get into my story. For those of you who don't know me, my network marketing career started in 1987, but I wasn't born until 1988. So whenever I say that, people are kind of go like, "Oh, well, that makes no sense." Well, my mum and dad got involved in network marketing before I was even born. So in 1987, my dad saw a newspaper advertisement that said MLM, MLM, MLM. I drive an Aston Martin, you can too. Call me now. My dad did not know what MLM was. Neither did hardly anyone in 1987. And the reality is hardly anyone still knows what it means today. But he thought it stood for Make Love Monthly. So he was like, make love monthly, make love monthly, make love monthly. I drive an Aston Martin, you can too. Call me now. So he was like, why not? Picked up the phone. The guy introduced him to multi-level marketing, the real definition of MLM, and he got invited to an event. He went to an event, he took my mum, and I was in the room at that event. And then my dad had the most powerful realization and emotion or thought process that anyone will ever have in network marketing. As he elbows my mum, which was me, in the head, right? If she can do it, so can I. If they can do it, so can I. If he can do it, so can I. And from that moment, he went on to build an absolutely huge organization of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people over a now 38-year career. So I grew up in network marketing. I knew it's the best business model you could ever be involved. When I was 18 years old, I said no, because I didn't think I was like my dad. Like he'd had the, if he can do it, so can I. I had the, if I have to be like him to make it work, I've got no chance, because my dad in my eyes was like Superman, right? Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Hulk, like Thor. He was just like the best superhero ever. And I saw myself the exact opposite, right? He was heads, I was tails. He was yin, I was yang. We were just complete opposites, right? So anyway, I eventually, after 4 years of saying no, I eventually got involved. I wanted to build the business all on social media, and I very, very quickly realized that if I'm going to build the business on social media, I need to create a duplicatable system, process, step-by-step framework that people can use. Now, if you don't know, one of my most famous frameworks is something called FAM. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in network marketing who use this process. And FAM is an acronym. You find someone, you add them, you message them. Or you find them, you follow them, you message them. Or you find them, you connect with them, you message them. That's my FAM process, and it's allowed people to generate leads all over the world. All right? So that's like a very basic lead generation system. Now, when I also got people to join the business, I had to have a system. So I created a launch system, right? An onboarding system and launch system. So the onboarding system was 3 5-minute videos, the basics of the product, the basics of the business, like the compensation plan, and the basics of the system, of the system. That was a system, right? Then a launch process. Okay, I want you to make this post. I want you to write this list. I want you to send this invitation. I want you to introduce people to this Zoom call. I'll do the Zoom call. And then I want you to carry on and repeat. That was a system, right? And then a social media system. I want you to create educational content. I want you to create personal content. And I want you to create conversational content. Ta-da! System, right? Educate to get people to know you. Personal to get people to like you, conversational to get people to trust you, and obviously allow you to have a conversation, right? Like all of these things. There was so many. I had hundreds and hundreds of systems, and I'm going to share with you today, or over the next 3 days, the top 3 systems that you absolutely must have in order to become at least a 6-figure income earner inside of network marketing. And again, part of my story, because I feel like it's important for you to realize this. My dad, when I was younger, maybe I was 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 years old, he used to run newspaper advertisements, and he ran newspaper advertisements for 20 years. And the newspaper advertisement was like things like looking for motivated people, looking for driven people, looking for people who want more from life, whatever it might be. And then he would sit by his phone. The advertisement would go out in the newspapers on Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he would be sat by the phone all day prospecting people. But also when people called, he would then answer the phone and be like, hello, who's speaking, please? Just like what happened when he joined the business. He responded to a newspaper advertisement. Now, he would usually put the phone down and he would shout, Frazer, Corbin. My brother's name's Corbin. And we would run into the dining room. And on the dining room table, it was a table very similar to the one like this, right, in terms of size. And there were stacks of paper, 8 piles of paper. And each pile had the same piece of paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And at the end, there was a black binder which had like gold embossed like writing on it, and then envelopes. And my dad would sit at the table. I would get paper number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure it was paper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put them in the binder. My dad would then take the binder, put it in an envelope, write down on the envelope the name of the person and the address of the person, and at the end of the day, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 information packs to the post office, where they would then send them out to everyone. Can you imagine that? If someone said, yes, I want more information, you had to do all that work. And it took all that time. And then he would have to contact people 3 days later to say, hey, have you received the information? And they went, no, I don't think so. And then he would have to wait the next day. Have you received it yet? Oh, no, I don't think so. The next day, have you received it yet? Oh, yeah, it arrived to my neighbor's house. And it's like, oh, my Lord, that was a system. And now the systems that we can have using technology and AI, which I'm going to show you, and I can help you get started with it today for free, you're going to be blown away. All right, you're going to be absolutely blown away. So here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into my computer a little bit. I'm not going to actually dive into the computer, but I hope you know that you're going to be able to see my screen. And I'm going to show you how you can set up a free trial for 7 days, which means it's going to last over the next 3 days and more up until next week, where we're going to have our first community call on a Wednesday, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to know exactly how to create this system for yourself. Now, you can potentially use sticky notes, Trello, Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel. There are other apps out there that you can maybe use 2 or 3 of them for just one part of the system that I'm going to talk about. What I'm going to share with you, we call it Saga. It was Jessie Lee Ward's brainchild that got brought to me after she passed away. And I'm taking over the reins to create a longevity of her legacy. So I want to first of all show you how to actually set it up. Okay, so let me dive into the computer and we'll get started. Okay, so if you go to thesaga.app/Frazer/register, there will be a button somewhere around this page as well, or the link will be showing up. If you go to that website, then you can actually just fill in really, really quickly your information. Bob Jones, let's go Bobby Jones 123 at gmail.com. You're going to enter in there we go, and then we're going to go number, and then number. All right, then click here, and you'll see it'll start. Instead of you paying $29.99 a month, you're going to be having a complete free trial. All right, so we're going to hit register. And this is going to start your 7-day free trial. Do it right now. Press pause on the video and do it right now. Again, you can pay. Now what you're going to do is, obviously the free trial is going to start, but you're going to need to at least set up one of the options. Now, if I was you, and Saga even suggests it, just start with the basic. And you can see here what you're going to get. And I'll just cover this really, really quickly before we kind of get started. But we have an email marketing system built in. All right? Onboarding and daily challenges, team news, upload or share your resources to the library. That won't make sense right now, but you're going to be blown away with this. A CRM, which is basically a contact database so that you can keep on top of all your contacts. An AI assistant that gives you script suggestions and trackable links, game changer. And personalized lead magnets for you to be able to generate more leads. Now, with the Plus and the Pro, you just get more. You get access to send more emails out and do obviously more things. But for now, and again, you can use yearly or you can use monthly. You will obviously see that the yearly gives like a $10 a month discount. Okay, so you choose. Let's just say we're going to go monthly, start trial, and then you're going to fill in. You're going to fill in your information, right? So your email is going to be there. You want to pay with card or you want to pay with a bank or whatever it might be. Enter that, and then obviously your card details won't be used if you decide to cancel the 7-day free trial. But honestly, if I was you, I would absolutely make sure you know how to use this system and not cancel the trial. I'm not saying that, please don't cancel the trial. We don't get many people who do cancel the trial, but I really want you to appreciate and understand that if you're not where you want to go yet, and you probably already know, and let me kind of ask you this question. Do you already know what you have to do? I know the majority of you are going, yeah, I know what I'm going to do, but you're not doing it. And there's a reason. And a lot of the reason can be overwhelm, fear of rejection, fear of failure, procrastination, perfectionism, the fear of success. Let me tell you this. Once you have a system that you do everything with and you go all in with, you will feel like you have a business. And a lot of people, they're so inconsistent, or they don't do what they know they've got to do because they don't feel like they've actually got a business that's going to be worth their time, right? And they protect themselves. It's protection mode of going, well, if I don't do a lot with the business, then at least I can say I didn't really do a lot with my business and I didn't waste any time. So anyway, you hit start trial, and then what's going to happen is you're going to go to this page. And your page might not look exactly like mine because I've obviously already gone through a bunch of different stuff, but you're going to be able to fill in your profile. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing. But before I do that, let me kind of just explain what our first system is. Now, if you've been on a challenge of mine before, you've followed me for a while, you've read any of my books, you listen to my podcast, you watch my YouTube videos, you follow me on Instagram, you read any of the emails, you tune into me on Telegram or any of the platforms, you've had a conversation with me, you've been to one of my events, then what I'm going to share with you might not be brand new, but you might still need to hear it for another time. The first system, the most important system, has to be one for you personally, right? It has to be for you. There's no point, because a lot of people, they build systems for their teams when they don't even have a team, right? They're fixing the holes in their bucket before they even know where the holes are, right? So the first system has to be what you can call a pipeline or a structured sales process. Now, I want you to think about a pipeline. Let's think about, you go outside, it's a hot day, you have this house, it's an amazing house, and the trees and the plants and the grass looks like it's dying. So what do? You go to the outside hose pipe, you turn it on, and the pipe, or the stopper, or what do you call it? This bit is connected to a pipe, right? And as soon as you turn it on, water doesn't come out of the pipe straight away. It takes time for the water and the pressure to push the water along the pipe, and then eventually it comes out. Same in your business. The moment that you speak to someone is not the moment that they join. The same in dating. Maybe you're on Tinder or Match.com, or you meet someone in the street. That might be a bit weird. You meet someone in a bar, whatever it might be. You start the conversation with them. You don't marry them straight away. You ask them for a date, they say no. You ask them for a drink, they say yes. You dance with them, you have fun, you chat with them, you ask them for a date, they say yeah, let's go, right? You go on a date, it's good. You go on a second date, it's great. You go on a third date, you start telling your friends, oh my God, I found the woman, oh my God, she's amazing, oh my God, he's great, da-da-da-da-da. Then you ask her to be your girlfriend, and then you decide to move in together, and then you get a dog, and then you ask her to marry you, and then she marries you, and then baby 1, baby 2, baby 3, baby 4. Like, it's a pipeline. But most people in network marketing don't have a pipeline. So there's a few things you need. First of all, you need a pipeline for your personal production. And second of all, you need some sort of system for your personal productivity. So let me just talk about productivity really, really quickly, and then we're going to dive into the laptop again, and I'm going to show you inside of Saga how you can have your own structured pipeline. That's, again, Jesse Lee Ward's idea, along with a few top income earners in the network marketing space, 7-figure income earners in the network marketing space, and then my contribution to come up with that, what I believe to be the greatest 5-step pipeline that you can do when it comes to simplicity as well, that you actually want to do. Because remember, a system has to be simple, it has to be repeatable, you have to want to do it, and you have to actually do it, okay? So, productivity. Here's the magic number, write it down. 15 hours a week. That's it. 15 hours a week. Now, you might be thinking like, oh, I'm a mum, I'm a dad, I've got a lot going on in my life. I wake up at 6 a.m, I drive to work at 7, I start at 8, I finish at 5, I then come home, I pick up the kids, then when they go to bed, I go to the gym really quickly. I have like 30 minutes a day, right? Let's just say 15 hours a week is that if you can do 15 hours of productive work a week, then you will get into personal momentum. And if you get into personal momentum, your business will start to move forward. You can still build a successful business with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a week. It will just take a long time because you won't ever feel in momentum. And chances are, if you never get into personal momentum, you might not last the test of time. Okay? So 15 hours a week. Here's the 3-step system that will be a game changer for so many of you. Set it, protect it, reflect on it. Set it, protect it, reflect on it. So let's go through them very quickly. All right. So you set the time in a Google Calendar. If you're already not using a Google Calendar or a Microsoft Calendar, Apple Calendar, a physical calendar, whatever it might be, then start today. Here's what I know for sure. Fact guaranteed. Every single 7, 8, 9-figure income earner that I know inside of the network marketing profession, guess what? They know what they're doing tomorrow at 8 a.m. They know what they're doing Thursday, 9 a.m. They know what they're doing next Saturday, 3 p.m. They know what they're doing 2 p.m. on Monday. If you say to them, hey, are you available tomorrow at 3 p.m.? They'll be able to tell you, no, sadly not. Right? I've already got a meeting booked in. So you have to set the time that you're able to do it. So look through your calendar, start using your calendar if you don't, and go, okay, you know what? I always have 30 minutes before I go to work, right, on a Monday. Okay, let's just say, right? Then I've always got half an hour during work, and then I've always got an hour from 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. before I go to bed. I usually watch Netflix, but if I want to build my business, there we go. So there's 2 hours, let's just say, for example, there's 2 hours Monday to Friday. Okay, let's say Monday to Thursday. That's 8 hours. Now where are the other 7 hours going to come? Well, I'm going to do Saturday morning, 3 hours, and then I'm going to do Sunday morning, 4 hours. Let's just say. And I don't want you to be like, oh, I can't do that. You will find a way in your day how you can do 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Your goal is to start 5 minutes a week, then go up to 10, then go up to 15. Because here's why. When you start small and you increase, there's no pressure on the business. Because you're not going all in. You're not saying to your partner, I'm quitting my job and I'm doing this full time to make it work. Because when you start with the big hours, your goal is to then reduce your hours. Right? If you don't get any value outside of this challenge, apart from this, it'll be well worth it, I promise. Because this is where most people get network marketing messed up. They start as many hours as they can and then they look to reduce the time. Eventually then being retired on the beach after 5 years. That's not really what the goal should be, because your business will crumble if you only build it for 5 years, especially if you're standing from 0 to 5 years. Very, very rare to create residual income in 5 years. That's just a reality. Okay. The goal is to do 5 hours a week, 6 hours a week, 10 hours a week, 12 hours a week, 15 hours a week until you go, wow, this is actually worth my time. I'm spending 15 hours a week and I'm getting 800 euros back or 600 euros back or $400 back or $1,000 back. And now when your partner gets into the conversation and says, how much did you make? You say, well, I only did 15 hours and I made 800 euros or $800. You make, wow, good work. Keep going, right? There's encouragement there instead of sabotage. And then you want to go to 20 hours, to 25, to 30, to 35, to 40 hours, to 50 hours, to 60 hours a week. And before you go, whoa, I don't want to work 60 hours a week. I haven't got it. When the money is coming in like it will, if you follow systems and you get productive and you create momentum and you actually use the time that you set, then 60 hours a week you will do, and you will be paid so handsomely for it that everyone in your family and your friends will be like, yeah, if I was making the hourly rate that you were making, I would be working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, right? And then you'll get into the thought process with your head of like, you only live once, you should spend your money, or save for a rainy day, and you'll be in this conflict. But anyway, first step, set it. Second step is protect it. If you said you were going to do something at 9 a.m., do it. If you said that you were going to do something Saturday at 3 p.m., do it. If you said you were going to build your business Monday 11 a.m. and your friend Sally knocks on your door and says, hey, I was just on my walk, can I come in for a coffee? And you say yes, then that's the devil sending his soldiers to distract you, right? People should know, there should be a sign on the front door of the house saying, do not disturb, business in process, right? Empire in building. If someone calls you up and says, hey, do you want to go for lunch today? I'm off work. And you're like, well, I'm not off work. What are you saying yes to? that means you have to say no to the thing that you know you need to do? And what do you know you have to say yes to build your business so that you can say no to everything that doesn't match up with that? All right? So you protect your time. And number 3 is reflect on it. So at the end of the week, let's say on Sunday evening, when your last session is over, spend 5 minutes going through your Google Calendar and looking at all the blocks that you actually created, and change the color. If you use Google Calendar, the default color I think is the grape color. Then if you do it, turn it to green. If you don't do it, turn it to red, right? And just count out of how much of the time that you actually set did you actually do. Because 100% is the top score, right? But I'm almost guarantee you won't hit 100%. You'll hit 20%, 30%, 50%, 70%, 80%. That's the reality of how much time you're spending on the business. So if you're saying I spend 15 hours a week on my business, but every time you reflect on it, it's 12, then start setting 12 so that you can do 100%, 12 out of 12, and then increase it. That is a system for your productivity. That is a system for you to do more efficiently, effectively, and start moving the needle further forward. But what do you do in the 15 hours? Don't worry, I got you covered. So we're going to dive into the laptop again. I'm going to show you how you can use the pipeline, the structured sales process for you to be able to start implementing into your business today. And then tomorrow on day 2, we will go through how you can then build a system for lead generation. How cool is that? So you can actually generate leads and start moving people through the pipeline. You're going to love it. All right. So let's dive into the laptop once again. Okay. So when we were in Saga, we go into contacts. And we're going to go make sure it's pipeline view. Okay. So just to explain this really quickly with the pipeline view, you will see that it's step 1 is you've got to connect with people. Then you've got to invite people. Then you've got to inform people, which is giving them the information. Then you've got to serve people. Now, serving to us is following up. It means that you serve people, you check in, you send them, we'll cover that soon, but serve until the sale comes, and then you launch. Okay, so 5 steps. All you got to do every single day, the DMO is I need to connect with new people. I need to invite new people. I need to inform new people. I need to serve with people. And then I need to launch people. Okay, and a lot of these names are just examples, right? So just in case you're thinking like, oh, Svetlana Gromova just joined. Isn't that your wife? I'm like, yep, that is my wife. But it's just an example, okay? Bob Jones is here twice. Frazer Brooks is here twice. But anyway, now, here's the great thing. I can create a new contact. So let's just go Sarah Smith, right? Full name, Sarah. Oh, there we go. Sarah Smith. Instagram handle Sarah Smith 1111. Facebook profile, let's just say we don't have one. Telegram, we don't have one. And a number is, let's go like this, right? Country, let's say she's in the UK. And interest, she's interested in the business. Let's say I met her in person. We're going to go through that tomorrow. But there we go, create lead. Now look, Sarah Smith is there today. I can click on her and I've got her information. I've got her activity. I've got her resources that I can share with her. I'm going to go through this all tomorrow. And you can also see the AI assistant as well. I can also schedule a task, right? So I could go, you know what? I need to follow up with Sarah today at, let's go, 7 p.m. Follow up. Thank her for taking the time to sit down for a coffee with me. Let's just say schedule, okay? So now it's here, and I can click it when I complete it, and so on and so forth. All right, now, what I'm going to do is let's say offline, I bump into Sarah tomorrow, and I'm like, Sarah, we're having a presentation at our house today. I would absolutely love it for you to come around and see what we're doing, how we're making money. And she says, sure. So now I can actually drag Sarah across to the inviting. And then once she's seen the information, I can drag her across. And then when I need to follow up with her, I can drag her across. And when she joins, I can drag her across to launching. That's if it's done manually. But guess what? This is technology. So we've created it so it's automatically, when you send certain different things, it's automatically going to move people over from connecting to inviting to informing to serving to launching, and so on. That's the power of the pipeline. Now, as I mentioned, you could, if you really, really wanted to, you could have sticky notes where you write a sticky note with Sarah Smith's name on it and the date, and you put it on the left-hand side of the wall. And every time you invite someone, you move it to the right, and then you inform her, you move it to the right, and so on and so forth. However, when the stickiness runs out of the sticky note, it's going to fall off the wall, and you're not going to know what to do. That's a big problem. You could use Google Sheets, or you could use Microsoft Excel, or you could use Trello, you could use other apps. But guess what? Saga does much more than just a pipeline and the tracking. It does so much more, and we're going to go through that over the next 2 days. Now, if I go to dashboard, it will say today's tasks. Look, follow up. Thank her, like this was follow up with Sarah, right? Thank her for taking the time to sit down for a coffee with me. Today, 7 p.m. with Sarah Smith. Now, I can send it by Telegram, WhatsApp, text message, email, Instagram. I've got all these different tasks. When I click done, boom, 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 done, happy days, right? My task is done. And if I've got 12, I can do it. So this is not just a tracking tool or let's say a pipeline system. It's a tracking system. It's a to-do system. It's an onboarding system. There's a challenge system. There's so much more. But what I'm going to do is I just wanted you to see the pipeline. And again, you've got the table view as well, where you can click here and look. So Sarah Smith, I need to connect with her right now. Mary Jones, I need to inform her. She's a lead. Sarah Smith is a lead. And then I can change it to a customer, or I can change it to a partner if I want, right? Which means it automatically sends to launching, because why would I connect with someone who's already a partner? I've got all her contact details here that are available. If they're not available, because obviously Instagram, I entered her email, I entered her phone number. But if I wanted to be able to connect with her on Facebook, I could enter in her Facebook handle, her LinkedIn handle, her Telegram handle, right? Now, if I clicked on here, it would then open, right? This is obviously not a real profile. I just used it, for example. But look, right? It has the profile already there. How cool is that? It's so good. It's so good. And you're going to see more in the next few days. So, as we wrap up day one, here's what you need to go and do. Number one, go and start and sign up for your free trial of Saga. Super simple. There's a button around this page for you to be able to do that. It's thesaga.app/Frazer/register, or just click the green button or the blue button, whatever color the button is, orange button, whatever the color button is that says start your free trial. Click on that, enter in your information, and then select the trial option that you want. Remember, if after 7 days you go, nah, I'm not going to bother with this, then two things. Number one, that's fine. You can cancel it. No worries. We won't charge your card. But the second question then is, what are you going to do if you don't use this system? Maybe your company or your team has a system. That's absolutely fine already. If not, start to get organized. My second task for you is also get really good with your calendar. If you're using Google Calendar or any other calendar, great. I want you for the rest of the week, or even next week, or whatever week it might be, to set how many hours you can do, and then protect those hours and then reflect on them. All right? Go and do those two things. I don't want you to just attend these things, a 45 minutes a day, half an hour a day, whatever they're going to be. I don't want you to just attend them. I want you to actually pay attention to them and move your business forward by taking action. What I tell people to do works. The reality is, are you prepared to work with it or not? Network marketing works 100% of the time for the 100% of people who give it the time. Giving it the time is committing to learning and doing, not just learn. All right? So I hope you got value from that. Make sure you tune in for day 2, because we're going to talk about lead generation. We're going to talk about presenting. Oh, you're going to absolutely love it. All right? So see you there.